All right, guys. So we're actually just gonna be doing a little pop-up bonus class. We're at
Oh, yes.
NFP tomorrow. We'll be going over some stocks we're watching. Just, talk it up. Just a little chill session.
All right. Let me know if you can see. Should be able to see.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is what my chart looks like. If you didn't know, it's wild. There was nothing on it. I just have all of these lines. So they're legit just vertical, like horizontal lines. But I don't know if you guys know. Sorry, let me move this mic around. Whenever you start learning or you listen to things on TV or just in general, there's always one important economic data point. And when I say economic data point, we're talking about the economic calendar. There's one thing that you'll always hear. And no matter what, you'll always hear it. And it's called non-farm payrolls. If just a quick refresher on fundamentals 101 for the market, and I'm just going to talk about for where we are right now. Actually, let me do this. I'll open I actually had this already. You probably can't see this, but maybe PV can do it later. I had this up from an older one. So right now the market is all about inflation, right? So we've gone through, the Trump pump, we went through the pandemic, and now we're going through this inflation situation where a lot of people are thinking, oh, inflation is because of Jay Powell printing all this money. Well, that's actually not true. That's not how inflation works. Um, and the reason why inflation is important is because that controls the economic growth, and the economic growth therefore controls the growth of the companies inside of the economy, if that makes sense. And so the market being a forward-looking kind of barometer of what profit should look like, that's why it's all kind of tied into each other. So back to inflation. Inflation has nothing to do with how much money J-PAL prints. Wild, right? So inflation is all about what I would call velocity of money. And when I say velocity, that means like how much people are spending, how much money is in the ether, like how much is out there. So if you think about in the very simplest terms, if you owned a business, let's say PB, New Age Trading is a business. Perfect example. New Age Trading is a business. If the economy is good, people are making a lot of money, and let's say PB is overloaded with members, right? At a certain point, like he could probably charge whatever he wants. Not that he does, but or if it was a shop, right? You own a shop, you're selling widgets. The more customers you have, the easier it is for you to increase your prices, and you likely will. But if there's not a lot of money to be spent, like people aren't doing so good, that will look if when they're doing good and people are spending money, and PB shop is increasing prices on widgets, well, that's inflation, right? And prices going up. It has nothing to do with how much money is in the economy, because watch this. If we print a bunch of money, but nobody's working and nobody's spending, then all of a sudden PB shop doesn't have a lot of customers, and he needs to get his money, like get that money going again. So he's probably going to lower prices regardless of how much money is out there. If people are not spending money, then your business, they're not buying your widgets, they're going to drop the prices on whatever the widget is, if that makes sense. So if we talk about inflation, we're talking about velocity of money, how much money people are spending. So to get back to the number one most important number every single month, this it's called non-farm payrolls. What it represents is how many jobs were actually taken the month before. So it's going to be October. We're going to get actually September's non-farm payroll numbers tomorrow, which is it comes out the first Friday of every single month. Simplest terms, I would look at it like this. So if we know that inflation is like the velocity of money, how much money is floating around and how much are people spending, NFP is going to tell you if more people are going to work, then more people have money. And if they have more money, then they're likely to spend money. When we see the spending of the money, that's going to show up in what we call PCE. So the second most important number is PCE. So that's personal consumption expenditures. How much money are people actually spending? That's the second, number two most important number every month. And All of that comes into what is called CPI, or core price index. That is actual inflation. Believe it or not, CPI is not that important. It's actually a backward looking thing. It just tells you what has already happened. The two numbers that tell you what are likely to happen moving forward: non-farm payrolls, most important, highest impact, and then personal consumption expenditures, PCE. Essentially, how much money do they have? Non-farm payrolls, that's this, right? How much money do you have? And then, are you spending that money? PCE. If you have more money, you're spending more money, we know prices are going to go up. That's inflation, or CPI. If inflation's going up, we know what the Fed does. They raise rate, period, right? Because they want their two things. They have two jobs. Number one is to control inflation, and number two is to promote full employment. So those are the only two things that the Fed has to do: is control unemployment, or promote full employment, and control inflation. Both of those two things. If they raise rates, then general spending, not individual spending, but maybe like corporate spending, all of that stuff, they start spending less because it's more expensive for them to borrow money. Therefore, people make less, and then they start spending less, and then prices go down. That's their way. That's their only tool to control inflation, if that makes sense. So backing all of that up, non-farm payrolls is the number one most important number every single month. You'll hear it everywhere. And the thing about that is, like, what do I do with this stupid non-farm payrolls number? Like, okay, now Jason, papers told me what it means. Okay, well, how do I get that it's important, but how do I actually put that into action? So that's what nobody ever tells you. And I'm going to basically line it up in the simplest way. You guys are going to freak out how much of a market hack this is. My screen is showing just basic, doesn't matter what calendar. I just use this one, it's a free one. September 1st, remember, it's the first Friday of every month, assuming that the government's open. Then you get the non-farm payrolls. What's important to note when you're looking at the number, if you feel like you need to look at the number, I'll tell you, I'm going to show you this in a way where you don't need to know about any of the actual internal data points. We're just going to create a trend based on this number every first Friday of the month, and you're going to nail the trend no matter what. This is 100%, not 90% back test, 100%. So just to note, if you think to know if you're going to have likely a big reaction to the number, so you have something called a consensus. And this is similar to, like, when I talk about this, it's going to be similar to how earnings work in general. So sometimes you'll see companies beat and raise earnings and the stock doesn't move. That's because the whisper number, they say, or the consensus, was actually for that company to beat and raise anyways. It's just a matter of how big of a beat and raise or miss it was. So it's what's not relevant, believe it or not, is the previous number. How different the current number is from the prior number, irrelevant. The only thing that matters is how big of a difference it is from the consensus. So this is September 1st consensus, 170K. Actual number came in at 187K. Means that 17,000 extra jobs were taken in August. So I'm going to take this back to our SPY chart. And this is how it works, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this to a 30-minute candlestick chart, just so we can get this a little bit more myopic, or like short term. I'm going to do a replay so we don't see anything. But here's what we're coming into. So September 1st, we get the data. It comes out about an hour before the market opens. It's always going to be in the pre-market. So you'll have your prior session close, right? We're just going to call this a price of interest right now. Can you guys see the screen? Let me see if I can, maybe a little bit better. So prior session, you want to zoom? Oh, okay. So no, this is not almost, it is 100%. Not almost, this is 100%. Back test, forward test. So you have session gap. You're going to do your standard pre-market high, pre-market low. You're going to do your orb, all of that stuff. Eventually, over time, you're going to have prior NFP levels. So I have it. But what's most important is that you day trade the day as it is. And then as we move forward, we're actually going to be able to play these exact levels for the entire month. And I swear to God, you're going to nail like every direction. Specifically, swing trading is going to be money. And how you find your intraday levels it's going to blow your mind. So here's September, right? And so September, you trade your day. So September 1st, non-farm payrolls was not a big difference, right? So consensus 170K, actual comes in 187K. It's not a big difference. The actual number was not a huge difference from what the consensus number was. So do we get a big price reaction? Actually, we don't, right? But what's important, let me just move this a little bit more. Play your regular levels just like normal, right? As we move forward, right, we start to define, so here's the day. And this is what's important. So tomorrow, we make tomorrow count, number one. If it's a big delta, we make it count. Today, this has been a choppy week. Make tomorrow count. I'll just say that. PB's got you guys covered on that. But after the close, you're going to mark that high of the day and the low of the day. And what this is going to do, this is going to define the trend for the entire month moving forward. Every single month, 100% back test, 100% forward test, whatever you want. So as we go forward in the month, it's gonna blow your mind how this actually works. So as we go forward, what we're going to be looking for is a clean open and close above or below one of these levels, right? So if the month continues inside of this range, what you should know is that it's still tradable, but you only play inside this range until you break this range that was defined by that day right here. You do not have a trend on the month. This happens to be September 1st. Think about it in monthly candle perspective. Right now, the monthly candle high is here. The monthly candle low is here. If the day opens and closes and starts trending above or below either one of these levels, what is September's entire month candle going to be looking like? If it's over this, the whole candle is going to be green. If it's below this, the whole candle for the month, not week, the entire month is going to be red. It's pretty simple, but it's going to blow your mind. This day, so right here, here's your low. You're trading your levels. This is a Friday. Then we come into Monday, right? So Monday, what's happening? I don't have an open below yet. So I'm looking for an open above or below and a close above or below same day. Right now, I have no trend. We're not breaking this level. I cannot think that we're going downside, period. And so for now, I can trade in this trend, but you can just do your day trade stuff. This day closes here towards the low. I'm thinking right now, you know what? This is likely going to start trending, right? If I get it open below here and we reject this low, 44969, I should be thinking puts and I should only be thinking puts. You're no longer thinking that we're going to go higher here. It's pretty straightforward. So we have a clean open below. Oh my God, where did the candle go? And then this is the next day. This is a flusher day, right? The second that you have your first day open or close below the NFP level high, that's your first like, okay, boom, I have a trend day. This is a day that we're going to make count. If you're thinking about trading, in any given 10-day period, there's only really going to be 2, maybe 3 days that we actually make the most of our money. This is one of those days and you want to be around for it, right? So this is the day you don't want to miss. Today would have been a day that you can miss. After a while, and I'll give you guys a live link to this so that you can put these levels on your charts, my historical levels. So I got you on that. After this, we're going to go level to level. So what this is going to tell you, and I don't need this anymore. That's irrelevant. Is that I want to go back. And so as we move forward, we're pricing the market back to August at this point, because this is August NFP low, high and low. And let me just go over here, over to August, and let me show you guys really quick how August plays out, because I have a feeling we might have something like this. So August, let's go back to custom date. And no, you guys will not find this anywhere else. Nobody teaches this. This is like secret sauce. But
Wait, Paper, do you only have the non-farm payroll levels on your chart?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, is right. It's a big deal.
Share
So,
those
okay.
levels, man.
So consensus here, right? 200K, we come in slightly lower. All right. So this is your pre-market levels. You have a gap. Are you thinking gap and go? Maybe, maybe not, right? But we're going to trade that day. We're going to trade those just like a normal day, but just know that these days can be very impulsive. They can be very strong trend days. These are days that you want to make count because the following days are probably not going to be worth that much, if that makes sense. And I'll show you why. So the market digests these first days. Whenever we get non-farm payrolls, you want to give it time. So tomorrow, we make tomorrow count. We're going to bank tomorrow, and then the rest of the week, then we flatten. We're going to flatten tomorrow, not swinging anything. Then we're going to let the market digest how this goes, right? So here's this August non-farm payroll. I have my high and my low marked. Remember, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a clean open and close above or below either one of these levels. That's going to define the trend for the entire month. At this point, and this is a crazy one.
You, Mr. Paper.
You might remember this one. So this is a Friday. What happens Monday? So this is Monday. We are inside Friday's range. What did I tell you? If we're inside this range, we expect chop. We expect range trades. Essentially, you grab your fibs, right? Like this, and I'm trading to golden pocket, right? If I have a break below my pre-market high, where am I going? I'm going 618. And legitimately, you're going to do that day after day after day, right? And that's literally it. So that we get back to, here's my low. It looks like we're going to go. I can get excited, but what happens? It doesn't break down. This level defends. I already know. I didn't need somebody to tell me that this was going to be an important level. I'm telling you now, tomorrow's low and tomorrow's high are going to be this important, right? Where does it go? Guess what? Look what happened. Right to those fibs. Every day, we're going to draw these fibs until we break out of these zones, right? We're going to get here. You can actually go here, swings low, swing high, because we're only going to be range trading. Look at that. Boom, boom. You break a 50% fib. Number one, you always think, okay, the probability of going to a 618, extremely high whenever you extend past 50. Where did we tag? Here, August NFP low. Trades over, sit on your hands, do nothing. Because guess what? Whole lot of nothing happens, right? If you drew a fib again, we're just chopping level to level. You got to let the market digest this, right? But I'm telling you, once you understand these and it actually does digest, it's so worth it. We're talking about August, right? So we defined it back. We're not breaking down. How many days do we have? Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're on Thursday. How many times have we knocked on this level? It's strong, right? It's a serious level. This is the following Friday. We finally get an open that's towards the low. We already knew that this was a big level. How easy of a short is this going to be for most people, right? If that gets there, it's always just like tap, tap, tap. Did I close below? I did, but I'm towards the high. I want to be really cautious. How important is this level? This counts. So what are we at? Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is an entire week, you guys. So this is what I'm saying. We make tomorrow count and we sit and we let the market digest. Expect range trading if we're inside of tomorrow's range. This is a full week of sideways going nowhere action. It totally typical. Continue to play the ranges. We're just chopping, and it doesn't get until, I mean, again, this is a Friday, Monday, Tuesday. That's like five. How many sessions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th session, this looks a lot better. I'm already thinking short, right? I'm below half this range. I've tested this multiple times. I mean, how many times, if you're a day trader, could you have played calls off of this level? I mean, and every time you would have been money or like short towards these highs. It's going to be clean. But this day here, this marks your first day. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. That's a lot of days. So this is why we want to be super cautious. We don't start swing trading until we have a clean range. This, I've got a clean open below, clean close below, towards the low of this day in the direction. I'm good to go, right? And then we're also, by the way, every time we hit this, see this July NFP level? You're going level to level. So short, very close here. This is your target, first target here. I can expect some kind of bounce but I'm just going to go level to level. If I break below 422 at this point, 60, I know definitively I'm going to 438. It's just what's going to happen. So until I can break through that, I'm not, but I do. And guess what? It's nearly same day, right? And now I know, at this point, I know, look, this is a clean trend. This is the entire monthly candle. How do you think this monthly candle is going to look, right? It's basically going to be there. What's going to happen? And there's your flusher, right? 1 day, 2 days. So 1, 2, 3 days clean trend. That's a lot of points, right? And then that's when our swing setups really kick in. Once you break through like 2 levels, you should probably be thinking, okay, I want to sit and pause for a second. If at any point you do reclaim a level, that's when you can think, okay, I can think about maybe upside, and then upside would be back test only maximum to here, right? 446. That was that NFP low. I got to know that's very likely. That's the critical resistance. That's my highest value short for that month, every month. And that's exactly how it's going to play out. But you can play level to level here. Let's see. Look at how clean these levels are. And this is July, right? So look at this, you guys. I'm still in swing trade mindset. How crazy are these levels? And I'm just telling you, I can go back, you can go back as far as you want. This is 100% accurate. It's like a little market hack, right? Finally get here. And I think we're getting, this is where we are, right? We're getting close to, if you break above, we've broken above, we can get back to the top, but that is it, right? It's impulse day. We're coming into September NFP, and I think we've already kind of shown where you are on it, right? We know how that plays out. So the day before NFP, always choppy, and then you get your second range. But let's go back to really far, show you like how critical. So this is June. It's the same thing. If you get a gap and go, I mean, check this out. So NFP low, NFP high. This is that 1 day. So this 1 day, remember I said we're going to make tomorrow count, and then we rest and sit on our hands and we wait to see how does this market digest this, right? Regardless of, I don't need to be a smart person to do any of this. I just need to know that this day is an important day, every month. And this is how I can actually put action behind it. It's as simple as marking that day's high and that day's low and looking for a clean open and close above or below those levels and using those as we're going to call them fundamental support and resistance. So fundamentally, this is how the fundamentalists will price the market. Is the market value correctly valued here or not, right? And then at that point, then we start to trade, right? So we try to trend after. So this is a Friday because it's always a Friday. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's not for another Friday. So we need to make tomorrow count, and then we stop. And then we can let the market digest, and then we're going to get a very clean trend. But the day that you get that first open and close above, look at this. Like that's June, right? We don't have another NFP until July. Same kind of thing, right? Here's July. Very trendy day. We make that day count always, right? Mark the high, mark the low, definitively going to define your range. If this is that Monday, we're opening here, we're defending Friday's low, we can go upside. We can go upside to where, right? To the high of this. That's it. If we get a clean open and close above, we're off. And we're off in a strong, strong way. Does that make sense? So again, super accurate, like 100%. Whereas here, sometimes these are really big days. Check this out. This is February. Look at how big this is. So February NFP, I mean, it's a big day. Again, this is a day we don't want to miss. Does it have to be like right there, like out of the gate? No, but we want to be watching all day long. And even if you don't get this day, you're going to sit on your hands for the next week or so. We're going to mark that day's high and low, and we're going to know definitively and be confident. Like your confidence should be 100% that if you understand this, your ability to execute trades is going to be through the roof just based on your confidence. I'm telling you, it's just a hack, right? I don't know how, like, it's just a market hack. Nobody's ever taught anybody how to put this into action. I'm teaching you now. This day, clean open, actually not a clean open above. So here we're opening below. We can get an impulse above intraday, but don't think that's gonna like hold right away, right? Again, here, open below, impulse above, closing below. We can day trade this all day long. Look at how important this level is. This is 413.85. That's important, right? It's resistance, holding, breakdown here, trading right back into it. That's a strong level. It didn't show up until this day. This is the one day. It's one event, one split second in the market that creates these levels. And again, if you believe in fundamentals first, this is why that's that important. We start thinking about the market from a fundamental perspective initially. We trade off technicals, but we know that fundamental events create our strongest technical levels. Again, this entire Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, Wednesday. This is like 2 weeks, but we know for sure if we're failing here, we think downside into this range until I have what? A clean open and close below. This is a clean open and close below. This is obviously kind of broadening range. If you get a retest like this that fails right here, you're banking, right? This is a money level. And this is how it works. If you get these retests, it's going to happen. I wanted to point this out. We get this stuff from time to time. It's not as uncommon as you would think, but when I say open and close above or below, I day trade the same way. I need to see it open and close above or below my stop level. I'm not going to get out on a wick. This is the definition of a wick right here. So this is February. We have an open, clean below, impulse high. Right here, this is the top of that wick. I'm not ready to concede here yet. And look at this. This is the open the very following day. And the flusher that ensues is just mind-blowing. Even if you're not here this day just on SPY, because you're trading, these levels are going to be like the strongest magnets that you've seen in the market, right? When it comes to SPY, these are insane magnet levels. So anyways, even if you miss this, you know, at this point, if you're watching the market here, you know, I want to get short at 402, right? Or somewhere up in here. So you can do your fair value gaps, whatever. But if you were able to get short here, this was a huge, huge trade. I'm just thinking short the entire time. At this point, I think this day, unfortunately here, yeah, so this day happens to be another NFP day. So you're going to get a reset right here. And so here's your next reset, right? And look how clean the reset is, right? High and low. I know that we're chopping and we have our historical levels. It's still in play, right? But again, if I get a clean open and close above or below, I'm going level to level. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? This is a full week consolidation. Expect something similar. Then you start trending towards the higher end. You're still bumping up into this 402, which you know is huge, huge resistance. But this day here, clean open, tag 393. Who knew to get long right there? Yeah, you will know to get long right there, and you'll know with confidence. And you're going boom, boom, boom through these levels, and you get resets here. It's just this is how you're playing it, right? But for your directional bias in general, right, and understanding the flow of the market and understanding why these things are important, and to be able to have some level of confidence as you swing, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Being able to feel confident about your levels so that you can execute efficiently, effectively, and quickly. That's the most important thing. And knowing that, hey, look, these are crazy levels, right? I think in my streams, what was it? It was like 422, whatever. Like we knew definitively if we start breaking below this level, I know that we test it too many times, it's not going to be fun, right? We knew here that we started blasting through. I'm still thinking short at that point, right? And so you're able to catch this. Once you reclaim a level, you're able to catch all this stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a private link for you guys. Just going to be this chart.
Yo, Paper, you just blew my mind, bro. That's nuts. I'm about to watch his recording like 20 times tonight.
Bro, I was thinking the same shit.
But
You've always
so
talked about it in spaces, but it's actually interesting as you play that kind of.
it's so critical. But let me tell you, like the confidence that comes from it, I think that's probably the most important thing, right? I'm gonna add this to the chat. So that's a live link. Where did I learn this? You know, I'm telling you, like nobody teaches this because I kind of had to figure it out. But like over the years, I've never seen it taught this way, like ever. But over the years, you always hear people talking about like non-farm payrolls is the most important level of the month. Non-farm pay, they don't say level. What they say is number. Non-farm payroll is the most important number of the month. Most important. I'm like, okay, well, how do I put that to action? And I was just like, let me just try and make this as simple as freaking possible. And this is as simple and honestly, it's so freaking like mind blowing. I just feel like people don't talk about it because it makes life easy. Like it makes understand. Look at this. So this is January non-farm payrolls, right? January non-farm payroll like low, right? Here and high. Clean open. I think we got like one kind of test here. Oh no, that's a post market. We're gonna do during market hours, by the way. Like low and high, right? Open. You can trade this, but we know that we're probably gonna come back the first day. We get this. It looks good. Who knew to get long as hell right there? You guys will know. Nobody else knew, but you will know, right? Like definitively, confidently to get long on these levels or to get short on these levels. You will know without question, if this happens, then that's going to happen without question. But yeah, I think I took the rest of the stuff off because I didn't need more than this year at a certain point. But you know, as the years go by, right, you'll build this stuff up. Look at how many non-farm payroll levels you guys are right in here. There's no way in hell the market's breaking below this. It's just not going to happen, right? Like it's just not going to happen. You're going to know. Can you flush through this volume like shelf? Maybe, but where's the real liquidity? There's no freaking way that it's going here. But I can also tell you with crystal clear confidence that if we get to open below and close below 422, whatever this is supposed to be 33. Sorry, because I've freaking memorized these. If we get to open and close below 422.33, we are without question going to 413.67. Is that simple. Like at some point we will tag this level. You knew if you get below this 438, without question, you're going to 428.74. That's 10 points, man. But you knew, right? You knew that below here, without question, you're going here. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just something that nobody really teaches. You guys are being taught this. I love sharing this stuff. And, you know, if you take everything that everyone teaches across the board, it all lines up, right? We always want to take fundamentals into account first. If you know, rewind back to the beginning, we told you why this number specifically, this non-farm payroll number is important, how it computes back to inflation, and how the market works, how money works in general. Yeah, I think you just got the keys to the kingdom, hopefully. And if you don't take any trades off of this, go rewind your charts, throw these levels on. You can always search, right? Like through like an economic calendar, impact, whatever, highest. They're always going to be there, non-farm payrolls, right? And go back on your charts and mark it, right? Worst case scenario, mark those highs and lows. But I guarantee you, you go back and you do this and you're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why did nobody teach me this in the beginning? So now you have it. It's invaluable. Keep it.
Wow, bro, that was nuts. That was probably one of the craziest
I
things
guarantee
you
it's
showed
gonna
me.
blow your mind when you see this stuff in action. If you do put it into action, it's going. I mean, it's wild. So Friday, tomorrow, we make tomorrow count, and we sit and we trade inside that range until we have a clean open and close below or above. And then we have a very confident level. Make sure you click this link and you add these levels to your chart. Let me see if I can do it this way. I don't know. I'll try. If it's not a clean view on your end, then just go back into a calendar and mark them highs, lows. But yeah, we're going to go level to level. So it's not like, oh, we're going to flush forever. It's like when we tag a level, right? From here to here to here, we reclaim a level, we go to here, there, done. But all of this stuff, I mean, fundamental events create your technical levels. That is what's true. This is how you can actually put that into action. Cool. I'm good, PB.
Yo, I mean, I don't even know like what else we can even go over in this class after paper just did
I know.
that.
LED, you're up.
I got questions for your paper. You better
Oh, yeah.
get comfortable. I just took a bunch of notes. So, question for you. So, are you marking the initial impulse move off the non-farm, or are you marking just the high and low that day itself?
The high and the low of that day. You can do like the pre-market highs and lows too, like as your levels. That's fine. But honestly, like what we want to do, you know, I don't know if you guys do this, but there's like, if you want to find, how do I find secret? Oh no. S. That's supposed to be my secret chart. That is not it. Oh, where did it go? Dang. All right, I'm going to show you guys something. So if I strip off your indicators for a second, and then you go session volume profile. This is just session. And then I turn off my.
You don't trade with indicators, do you?
I'm not really into indicators, but I should be able to turn this off.
Some people were like, "Yo, my life's different now."
You know, it just makes it like confident, right?
You at
Let's
your
just do
office or
this.
at your house?
I'm going to turn off the candles. This is what I've done. So
Okay, so
you
then
can do
VP.
this on those days. So no candles. This is strictly session volume. Are you following?
Yep.
So if I have, here's my volume for high and low of this day, the main volume here, these are going to be basically your pivots, right? So anything in the main session. And so there was only one day. All of these days are way, way below, right? There's only one day that gets there. And essentially that ends up being just a massive selling day. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is just gross. And they accumulate right at those same levels, accumulate right at these levels.
Wait, paper, is this order flow or VP?
This is neither. This is something, so we're recorded, right?
Yeah.
It's just session volume,
Okay.
right? So it's just the volume of that session. All I did was I just turned off the candlesticks. So they're still there, right? Candlesticks are there, but if I turn them off for a second, so no candles, just a chart, session volume, boom. That tells me essentially where the volume was for each session. And this is super important, right? So like you can turn it up however much you want. But this is, you know, there are some old school traders or like people on TV, kind of like old school traders. This is legit what they're doing.
That's what my mentor, that's how he traded.
Yeah.
That's literally all he looked at. Yeah, he didn't give a shit about candles.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, right? Like, because what matters is where the bulk of the trading was, right?
Yep.
So you can see these. So I have yellow is selling pressure, blue is buying. Look here, you know, like they're kind of right here. This is look at this day, right? Like this day, you probably knew, oh, it's getting really close. We should go back to that I think it was in February. This day. So remember this day where I was like, oh, we were coming back and retested. Buying volume all here, that's blue. This day, it's a lot of selling. And the point of control, which is these red lines, that's towards the low of the day. When you're swing trading, when people think about trending days, if you're what's true is, and just remember this, if nothing else, if you make the high of the day in the first hour and you close towards the low of the day in the last hour, you're likely going to have a very high probability swing to the next following day. And so these are perfect examples. If the point of control for this day, so if the low is made in the first 30 minutes to an hour and I close with a point of control towards the high of the day, it's very likely that I'm going to have an impulse higher just for the following day. And that's exactly what this day happens. And this day, where is the high of the day? So all the volume for that day, like initially out of the gate, is all up here. But that's not where the point of control for the day was. That's not where the biggest volume was. It was actually down here. And if I turn the candle on, I don't know that I would actually be able to see that in the candle itself. So like, you could, but that's really hard to see, right? So if this is your first half hour, so this candle,
you would think the exchange would occur at the doji, right towards like the top of the range.
Yeah. So like if I just did regular trading hours, oh shit, did I just ruin that whole thing? We were in February, right? Yeah. So I don't have extended hours on. This is regular trading hours. I guess you could see this. Regular trading hours, your first hour of the day, if the first hour of the day is the high, this is obviously a trend day, right? This is where the day closes. And you close at the low with the point of control of the day at the very absolute low. You cannot be thinking that you're going to bounce, right? Like it's just not going to I don't care, right? Like what the level is.
No.
Just from a day-to-day perspective, hey, look, oh, I'm sorry. This green candle. Let me turn this off for a second. This is the first hour, right? So this is the first hour of the day, but that marked the high of that day and you close towards the lows. Would you really be able to see all of that if you were just looking at these couple candles? Like it's going to be really hard, like really hard just to see, maybe not. But once you turn something like this on and you're like, oh shit, it closed below the entire point of control for the session. And the very peak of the session was at the very beginning. And then you turn something on like this on that shows you buyers versus sellers. Like it's not the best day. Second day forward, you have it one more time where the high of the day is where? It's in the first hour of trading. You like clocked the absolute high of that day, flush below your NFP level and close with a point of control towards the low of the day. Again, it's a confident swing. It's a 1 day here. So this day you do get the flush extension, but then the point of control, you're closing back towards the highs, right? So now I'm not really thinking, do I want to swing something short? No, not necessarily. But that following day you come up and boom, you do it again, right? Your high of the day, first hour of trade, you close towards the lows. Fuck no, dude. This is flushing, right? Like you're flushing.
I think from a perspective of like on a 2 candles back, right? When the point of control, right? So if you're going to red to green on the day and your point of control is now at the bottom into the lows, the chances, I would say, if you were to, again, flip a coin, right? The probability is you're going to gap down the next day. Where same thing as if you were to rip and the point of control was at the top part, you're likely going to gap up. So that's how you can kind of flip I know you love the last 30-minute contracts. So you can look at this and kind of engage, right?
Yeah. So so a view like this helps, like incredibly helpful to gauge that general day-to-day momentum. You're right, Ellie. So good on you for catching the trick. But it's part of it's part of the trick for sure. But you won't know that until you get to that last 30 minutes either. And also we open the swings in the last 30 minutes because that's when volatility is the cheapest. So not only do I have an edge from a volatility perspective, but I have a better view of how that whole day is playing out.
Very interesting. I got to get better at TradingView. You live on here, don't you?
What?
On TradingView, you live on here?
I do. That is true.
Real quick.
Yeah.
We got to see something. Yo, who just learned something from paper? Put a one in the chat who just learned from the from
Bro, I'm about
paper.
to
We
put a
need to
one
see
in the chat,
something. Yo,
dog.
you guys
Oh,
see
put a
oh
one.
my gosh. Yo, let's
Oh, I
blow it
love
up.
that, man.
That was nuts. That was probably the most I've ever learned in 40 minutes. Yo, everybody's spamming ones. Shout out Paper, man. You're probably one of the best traders I've ever met.
Dude,
Beautiful,
I
man.
dead ass had my notepad out and I was like, fuck, I gotta put this on a Google Drive.
Yeah,
It's so
nah.
interesting. It's one of those things where you wouldn't really think of it, and then you actually
You don't.
see how it works.
And
like,
even
okay.
less people actually teach you, right? Like I mean,
You've been doing
nobody
this for
thinks of
years,
it.
though, so
They
you know
talk
what you're-
about it, right? They talk about it, but nobody gives you like, this is how to put this in action. Step 1, step 2, step 3, right? Like it very, very, you know, we want to make things as simple and easy as possible. Simple and easy are not the same thing, right? But this is simple and easy. I don't need to know. I don't need to be an economist to be able to tell the predominant trend if I can just mark a high and a low of a day, one day. Like what is?
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything else, right? Like,
well, it's reacting versus the prediction, right? You're just letting everyone else tell you what it is, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so interesting. Wow.
So
well,
cool,
I'm curious
guys.
what your thoughts are then for tomorrow. We're double inside bars. You think we're going to break a range either way?
Well, no, that's what's so fun, right? Like not fun, but like what makes this so easy is that I don't care, right? Like we're gonna day trade tomorrow. I have these historical levels that are still in play, right? But
yeah.
I know that tomorrow I'm gonna have to make count, and then once the like market starts to digest tomorrow, it's gonna be game on, right? And like we're saying, it's like the reality of the situation is, as a trader of any given, let's say 10-day period, there's only really like 2, maybe 3 days that are going to be like, the 80-20 rule, right? Like 80% of my outcome comes from 20% of my effort. 80% of your profits are going to come from 20% of your trading days, right? And it's knowing when those trading days are going to come up, right? And it's not tomorrow tomorrow can be one of those days, but the following few days after tomorrow, I'm just going to tell you now, it's not. Right. So you don't need to be heavy, right? Don't expect major continuations. That's more important than knowing when the days are, just knowing when the days are not going to be. That's when you want to kind of chill out, let the market digest. And then once you have a clean direction, then you can start hammering.
Yeah, right? That's when you take your 150 cons and start going ape shit.
Yeah, that's when you can size up confidently, right? And that's the most important thing to be able to do, is like have your confidence in your trading, have your confidence in your levels. Other than this stuff, I will, basic prior weeks. I use the automated stuff. Like you have like prior weeks, high, low, and quite frankly, these tend to line up anyways with the same levels.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter, right? Like, how did I tell you? Like, I mean, when like we call this level, I think this was Monday or something. It was just like, we're able to tell you, like, if we close like below 428.74, definitively we are going to go to 422.33. And like when I said 422.33 with confidence, I didn't need to trim, right? Like, I mean, look at this level. This is here before, right? That comes from this level here, like way before. And then if we're inside, cool. We can just like chop and chill. Right now we're trending towards this. I also know right now that, I believe it is that, we're closing towards the high, not exactly on it, but tomorrow, but this doesn't matter today because tomorrow's going to reset, right? And so tomorrow we're going to reset. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's range ends up being exactly this, quite frankly, but that's not going to bother me because what I know is that after tomorrow, I'm going to have very clean direction and incredibly reliable levels.
So mainly, I'm trying to think just I always try to tell new traders paper, like there's days to trade and there's days not to trade. Like today, I knew today was gonna be an inside day by 9:41.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, like do you teach them too, Ellie? Like if you reclaim an orb, it's a wrap for the day.
I try to, so for me, it's the trend, right? So for 10 to 10:15, we're not making a high, like a higher low, lower high, higher high, whatever. We're gonna chop all day. That's it.
You're 30-minute orb guy, right?
No. No, I don't trade
No?
orbs. No.
I'm the pre-market high, pre-market
It's
low.
Maple, huh? Maple's 30. My
Yeah,
bad.
Maple's the orb master. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you do your orbs, whatever, I don't actually put a time frame to it. I don't think that matters, to be honest.
I like
It's
to know
your
where it is, right? Like I'm
yeah,
tracking
no,
it,
it's
so.
just that it's just whatever that impulse high and low is, right?
Yep.
So like you have an impulse high, you have an impulse low, or whatever, right? So like or open, right? So open, impulse high, cool. This is it, right? For me, here, like okay. So I'll call this my orb high low. That's it. Okay, boom. And if I at any point reclaim it, that's over. I'm not going to extend it. It's like, okay, I'd stop trending. That's fine. And you'll
Even though
have
you could
days where you
add
can
labels
reclaim
like
an
that
orb.
to Trading View that quickly.
Yeah.
How did you
Huh?
do that? So
What?
how did you? So click.
Huh? But my candle.
And
Oh,
then,
this little button.
oh
So
shit!
make the line however you want, and then you save it. Save template as break of structure, right? Fair value gap, orb. If I have a pre-market high, pre-market low, right? So here's my pre-market low.
Wow. Not only did I just learn not the facts, saying fair value up NFP, I learned this. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's your pre-market high. Anyways. Yeah.
Well, we just got all the sauce.
Do I use session indicator?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. I use this thing called the strat. It's part of my system, but it automatically. Yeah.
I didn't know you were
higher time frames. So
okay, that's what I do too. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I don't care what the system's called. I use 2 or 3 candlestick setup at key levels, which everybody does also, and then I take my entries on those lower time frames. But that daily plus level, that's the most important. My buddy wrote this, but I have this automated. So I have a quarterly candle high low, monthly candle high low, weekly, daily high low. It's kind of automated. So like, oh God. If I take off the drawings and
the way you operate Trading View is memorizing. Like just the finesse you have and just
stop that. So like, see these gray, so I have the color prime colors so that when they overlap, they change colors, right? Red and blue overlapping is going to look like purple. Blue and yellow overlapping is going to be green. Actually, this is blue. This is actually showing up as teal because this is a yellow and a blue overlapping. Anyways, so it's gonna, is it not doing it? It turned them off.
How long have you been using TradingView for, Paper?
No, I mean,
I'm about to go buy it right now.
Oh, so you buy TradingView once a year on Black Friday.
Oh, okay, so 1 month.
6 years.
Oh wow, 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, don't worry. Oops.
Literally all like so I hired a quant.
You can do the short-term plans, but buy the yearly on Black Friday when they have their sales. It's like 80% off.
Perfect.
Paper makes $1 million in 1 week, and it's like, yeah, yo, get the deals.
Yeah.
That's some gang shit, bro.
Guys, I just posted a shout out for Paper. Hold up. It's uploading right now. Everybody go. All right, look. Everyone go to my new tweet. Let's blow Paper up real quick.
You guys rock.
Let's blow Paper up real quick. Everyone
damn, the lady's calling.
You're good, man. Everyone go like, retweet, comment, give some freaking. Let us know how that just went for Paper, yo. Everyone follow Paper as well. I just posted the tweet below. Everyone go like, retweet, comment. If you learn something, it's the least we can do, man. I posted in the Discord chat.
Oh, look at you, dude. You're doing that. Nice.
We've been trying to blow Paper up for so long. Paper's just like a humble dude.
He's been growing a lot. He was just at 10,000, like I feel like a month ago.
I remember when you first came on the spaces, I think I texted PB or someone. I was like, dude, Paper and I train exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like we will say like, there's a million different ways to trade, but at the end of the day, like you can call things what they are, right? Like for basic trading, it's always this, every single system comes back to that same 2 to 3 candlestick setups at key levels, right? And that's where your 80-20 is going to be for sure.
Wow,
all right,
man.
guys, I gotta call the lady. I got Paper Games Junior on the way. She's getting hungry. We don't want to leave Mama
You're at your
hungry.
office, right?
What's that?
You have an office, right?
Yeah, I'm at it. So I gotta drive.
I
Alrighty
appreciate you,
then.
Paper. Thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't
guys.
even think we could even like
Yeah, I don't know how I'm
go
gonna
on
follow
after
up with that, bro.
Thank you so much, Paper. Yo, I'm about to post that recording once it records, and every single person should go rewatch that.
Yeah,
I'm
guys,
literally gonna put a
that's
whole
yours
announcement on
though.
it.
Like just now, that's it's now New Age / Paper like special sauce.
Oh yeah, baby. Everybody
won't
go
find it
show
anywhere
some
else.
love on that post.
I haven't seen PB smile like this in a long time.
Yo, bro, my mind is like blown.
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy.
Cool.